Susie Wiles, who is Trump's new chief of staff. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has announced that his campaign manager Susan Summerall Wiles will be his White House chief of staff when he takes office next year. President Trump said in a statement that Wiles just helped us win one of the greatest political victories in American history, and that she is tough, smart, innovative, and widely admired and respected. It is a natural honor to appoint Susie as the first female chief of staff in American history, he continued. I have no doubt she will make our country proud. Wiles, 67, is the first woman to be appointed as White House chief of staff. President Trump's transition team is currently working on selecting the top members of his next Republican administration, including the heads of all 15 executive branches, including the Secretary of State and Secretary of Defense, who will be appointed from January 20. Trump called her an ice maiden as she stood behind Wiles on stage during his victory speech this week. Though she mostly works behind the scenes, the president-elect said, she is known as one of the most feared political activists in the country. Susie will work tirelessly to make America great again, he added in a statement Thursday, referring to his oft-repeated campaign slogan. A Politico profile earlier this year described Susie Wiles as feared but little known. Less than a year after Wiles entered politics, she joined Ronald Reagan's campaign before the 1980 election. She played a key role in changing politics in her home state of Florida. In 2010, she ousted businessman Rick Scott, who had little political experience at the time, for the Florida governorship after just 7 months. Scott is currently a U.S. Senator. Wiles met Trump during the 2015 Republican presidential primary and served as co-chair of his Florida campaign. He won the state in 2016 against Hillary Clinton. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who tapped her to run his successful gubernatorial campaign 2 years later, called Wiles the best in the business. Wiles worked on the Trump campaign alongside Chris LaCivita, a veteran of Republican politics with decades of experience. The two worked with President Trump to devise a strategy to win the primaries. In a Politico profile, the 67-year-old grandmother, daughter of the late American football player and sportscaster Pat Summerall, said she comes from a traditional, political background. Earlier in my career, things like manners were important, and a certain level of decorum was expected, she said, noting that the Republican Party is very different from the party of decades ago. So I understand that the Republican Party today is different, she said, referring to the GOP, also known as the Grand Old Party, GOP. We have to be patient with change in order to get the things we're trying to do done. The Chief of Staff is considered the President's most important advisor and plays a key role in each President's administration. They essentially act as White House managers and are responsible for managing the President's staff. They direct the staff through the office of the President and oversee all day-to-day operations and activities of the staff. They also advise the President on policy issues and are responsible for directing and monitoring policy developments.